first part of the selfish giant, we came to know the nature of the giant, the nature of his garden, who were playing in his garden, and what happened to his garden. And at the last of the first part, we came to see that the spring has made his onset in his garden. Now let's focus on the second part. He saw a most wonderful sight. Through a little hole in the wall, the children had crept in, and they were sitting in the branches of the trees. In every tree that he could see, there was a little child, and the trees were so glad to have the children back again, and that they had covered themselves with blossoms and were waving their arms gently above the children's heads. So here we can see that the selfish giant all of a sudden had seen a very beautiful sight. And what happened? Through the little hole in the wall, in the boundary wall, the children had crept inside the garden, and they were sitting on the branches of the trees. And in every tree, he was able to see a little child sitting over there. And due to the presence of the children, even the trees were glad, and they started blooming. And they were just waving their arms gently above the children's head. The birds were flying about and twittering with delight, and the flowers were looking up through the green grass and laughing. It was a lovely scene. Only in one corner it was still winter. It was the farthest corner of the garden, and in it was standing a little boy. He was so small that he could not reach up to the branches of the tree, and he was wandering all around it, crying bitterly. The poor tree was still covered with frozen snow, and the north wind was blowing and roaring above it. "Climb up, little boy," said the tree, and it bent its branches down as low as it could. But the boy was too tiny. So here we can see a very delightful scene over there. Everywhere the birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming, the fruitful scents, everything is there. But in the farthest corner of the garden, it was still winter, and we can see a little boy standing over there. And he is even trying to reach up to the branch of a tree, but he is so tiny. And even the tree is bending its branches down and asking the boy to climb on it. But the boy was too tiny to climb on this tree. And the giant's heart melted as he looked out. "How selfish I have been," he said. "Now I know why the spring would not come here. I'll put that poor little boy on the top of the tree, and then I will knock down the wall, and my garden shall be the children's playground forever and ever." He was really very sorry for what he had done. So seeing the tiny boy who was just trying to climb on the tree, the selfish giant actually became a good person. He thought that how selfish he had been till now, and he came to understand why the spring was so late in his garden. And he thought that he will just put the poor little boy on the top of the tree, and he will knock down the wall, and the garden will be the children's playground forever and ever. And he was feeling very sorry for his deeds. So he crept downstairs and opened the front door quite softly and went out into the garden. But when the children saw him, they were so frightened that they all ran away, and the garden became winter again. Only the little boy did not run, for his eyes were so full of tears that he did not see the giant coming. And the giant stood up behind him and took him gently in his hands and put him up into the tree. And the tree broke at once into blossom, and the birds came and sang on it, and the little boy stretched out his 2 arms and flung them round the giant's neck and kissed him. And the other children, when they saw that the giant was not wicked any longer, came running back, and then with them came the spring. So we can see a change in the mindset of the giant. Now the giant is no longer selfish, no longer cruel. So what he has done, he just opened his front door and just went into the garden. And when the children saw him, they were so afraid, they were so frightened, and they all ran away. And again the garden became winter again. But only one child was unable to move from the branches of the tree, and that was a little boy. And he was not even able to see the giant coming because his eyes were full of tears. But what the giant has done, the giant just went nearby the tree and just took this boy in his hands, and he just put him up into the tree, and the tree at once broke into blossom, and the birds came and sang on it, and the little boy stretched his two arms and just gave a tight hug to giant and just kissed him. And seeing that other children were also happy, and they were shocked to see that the giant is no longer wicked, and they also came running there, and along with them came the spring season. "It's your garden now, little children," said the giant, and he took a great axe and knocked on the wall. And when the people were going to market at 12 o'clock, they found the giant playing with the children in the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. All day long they played, and in the evening they came to the giant to bid him goodbye. "But where is your little companion?" he said. "The boy I put into the tree. The giant loved him the best because he had kissed him." "We don't know," answered the children. "He has gone away. You must tell him to be sure and come tomorrow," said the giant. But the children said that they did not know where he lived and had never seen him before, and the giant felt very sad. So seeing the giant holding the little boy softly in his hands, the other children were also happy to see that. And that time the giant said to them that it's your garden now. It's the garden of these little children, and you can come here any time and play with me at any time. And when the people were going to market at 12 o'clock, they had seen the giant playing with the children, and that is the most beautiful garden they have ever seen in their life. And all day long they were playing, and during the evening time they were just bidding him goodbye. And that time the giant is worried about the little boy who had kissed him. He's asking about where is the little companion, where is your little friend? And the kids are answering, "We don't know. He has gone away." And they even don't know where he is living. And they even haven't seen him ever before. So hearing all those things, the giant felt very sad, and he was just asking the kids to be very sure that the next day they should have the little boy along with them.